love you.
We had a gathering yesterday that my dear friend Pat attended, and we were talking about compassionate communication. This isn't a part of it. This is a side thing. But we were talking about just saying I love you to everybody, like make it weird and just tell everybody I love you and how much more wonderful the world would be if we did that. So anyways, that's it. We're talking about faith today, right? That's what the power is. And thank you for this beautiful beginning of the service because it gave me some material to talk about today. So I would like to open with hearing from you, actually, and how do you define faith? When you hear the word faith or you think of your own faith, what comes to mind? Carrie, if you would be so willing to, would you be willing to run the mic?
Yeah.
To just kind of, whoever, no pressure. And if nobody wants to talk, that's okay. I can talk more. I always can talk more, but thank you. But what is faith? What is faith?
I would align faith with sense of peace.
Sense of peace.
Yeah, just knowing that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's enough, right? Keep it simple. Who else?
I would say faith for me is the invisible force that works through me, through God.
Yes. That invisible force, right? It was up on the screen, this invisible force of God. Thank you, Paul.
When I think of faith, I think of action and the difference between like faith and belief. And faith is actually doing it. And a lot of people will say that they have faith, but by their actions, it doesn't seem like they really do. And myself can, not saying I'm above that, but action is what I think of.
That's the challenge, right? That's what we're talking about today, is putting faith into action.
I believe faith is the struggle. It can be a struggle, it doesn't have to be, but everything that you do to try to make your vision happen.
Yeah.
The vision for yourself, the vision for the world. And it's not going to be easy.
Right, I love that, the vision. We'll take one more, Larry.
I guess offhand, my idea of faith is enduring dedication to spiritual truth.
Yeah, that's good. Dedication, so many good words. Thank you all for contributing in that way and for sharing the message that you have to share with this world about faith. And so you captured it. What I'm going to talk about is putting that faith into action, and that's the test of faith, right? Like we can sit here and we can talk about love and say I love you to all the people, but then what about the people that are out there that maybe are a little bit more difficult to love? Or what about this calling that's in your heart to be of service to others, right? Like we all have this pull to be our divine selves, but if we're sitting here and going to work and going grocery shopping and all of the things that we have to do as human beings, but not experiencing ourselves as spiritual beings, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I imagine we're all here because we know there's something more to being in these bodies than simply being in these bodies and operating as human beings. And so, and we can feel that force, that magnetic pull drawing us into something greater than maybe what we're looking around. And my dear friend Carol this year was, we were talking about, maybe it was you that mentioned, but having the bracelets. We were talking about nonviolent communication and having bracelets of not complaining, right? Like I need that bracelet. But to do that, we need to be able to actually be in the work all of the time. And that's the power of being present, right? If we're not present, if we're complaining and we're, this or, I don't have enough of this or, this person said this, made me mad. And we're not remembering who we are and why we're here. And so those of you who didn't speak, or maybe even those that did speak, I invite you to just take this idea of faith and play around with it like Play-Doh today. Let it transform you. Let it be a living word for you today, and discover what that word really means. Not something maybe you read in a book or something somebody else said, but a living word that will transform your heart today to drive you into taking action. For years, it's like I opened up this healing center and all this, and life is just really beautiful right now. But before that, it wasn't so beautiful. It was, or I didn't think it was anyways. That's when I really complained a lot. When I was like, I want to do something. I want to help people, but guess what I was doing? I was watching TV all day long and complaining about whatever, being in a job that I didn't like, and having relationships that weren't serving to me, and all of that. I wasn't stepping forward. But then when I started to prepare my heart and to realize that something greater is possible, Arnie had mentioned the word vision. I started to envision what my life could be like if I had no strings attached. I could just go out there and do good works. And then from there, things just started to fall into place. It was quite a simple process. Of course, my mind was like, how's this going to work? And what am I going to do? And am I going to make money? We talk a lot about at the community, we all want to quit our jobs and just, serve the world. But the mind will say, that, you're not going to be able to survive if you do that, right? Well, I've been doing this is my third year of, after leaving my job, my full-time job, and I'm here. Guess what? I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton. Not that it was easy, right? It's not easy. The mind will complicate it and will feel worried, but taking that little step forward with willingness to see what's possible. One of my dear friends will say, stir the chaos. Let's just see what happens, right? So, and we sang the song Forever, forever God is with us, right? Like, what do we have to worry about? When love is present, what do we have to worry about? We're always being cared for. Christ talks about if the birds are being fed, well, certainly, God's going to give you food too, you are greater. There's more purpose within you. Of course, you will be fed. And not only that, not just, our needs will be met. That's great, wonderful. But expansiveness, growth, connection, enlightenment, all of these things are possible when we open our hearts up to receive ourselves in our purest state. And can you imagine, and maybe you've made that decision in your life, a couple times. We've been on this earth a little while, right? We make these decisions to just be a little bit more like ourselves. And do you regret it? Do you ever regret it? Oh man, I really regret taking that job that I loved. I really regret leaving that relationship because and it created all these other wonderful relationships for myself. No regret. We can reflect back on that and see that faith has carried us into something greater. It has drawn us deeper into ourselves and our divine purpose, and able to serve the world more. I could have stayed in that place of I want to help others, but that didn't get me too far. It was my initial why that drove me into my spiritual practice, but then I realized pretty quickly I better get myself whole first so I can teach others about wholeness. Well, I got a lot of stuff to clean up in here. Okay, give me a minute. Let me work on myself and then go out and share. And then that's where the ease comes in. When we realize these parts of ourselves that we are separate from, and we work in those areas, then the rest of it's easy. It's easy to say I love you to somebody on the street who you've never met before, because what do you have to, there's no embarrassment there. I am who I am. I love you, and I see you. And there's no fear there, right? There's no embarrassment. There's no, oh, I should hide. How many of us have family that's like, oh, they're a little kooky. What are they doing there? You know, like they're singing these songs and saying I love you. There's got to be a catch. Use crystals. Oh man, that's good. What are these crystals, right? Raise your hand. Is anybody like you dealt with that? No, nobody ever was embarrassed to like admit, right? No, it's scary because we're going against the grain of society, right? Like everybody is just this tunnel vision, you know. We got to do these things. We got to survive with our bodies, but you know we have everlasting life, right? If we just take that, okay, I have everlasting life. I get to do this as many times as I want. I can take my time through this process, and I can take chances because I know I've got nothing to lose. I already have my life. I already have love flowing within me. What else do I need? And so then that courage gets generated within us to not have fear. And notice when, if you feel that calling, it could be a simple moment of passing somebody in the grocery. I always use grocery stores as examples if you hear me talk, right? Brittany, I always talk about grocery stores because that's my temple. I go in there and I'm like, okay, all right, here we are, we're in here, everyone's chaos everywhere. All right, I'm gonna transform this energy. Like, how many people can I make smile? How many hearts can I touch? How, you know, who's gonna teach me something today? But in the grocery store, you know, I'll pass somebody and I'll just see somebody like reaching on the shelf and it's just barely out of reach, you know, and I'm like, I should help that person, but I really gotta go. And I'm feeling really shy and introverted right now. I don't really want to talk to them, but then my heart's like, just do it, just do it. And then I do it, and I'm like, excuse me, would you like some help? Can I grab that for you? Oh yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And then our eyes connect and we fall in love and it's great. It's great. And then I say, I love you. And they're like, I love you too. And I'm like, come on, you're a pioneer. We say it all the time. Yeah. But like, there's so much magic in that moment. There's so much magic in that moment. And that's all that exists is in that moment. You know, and Carrie invited us to just look into each other's eyes and sing to each other. And like, I held, you know, one of my best friends, Caitlin's here, and I held her hand and I'm like, God, this is, oh, it's so great. This is it. This is what it's about, you know. But we have to know ourselves, feel confident in ourselves in order to take that step forward. So what is that fear? What is actually holding us back? Because if we know ourselves, then we know, wow, we're pretty great. You know, like, you know, we can speak the word and we can share love with others and we can hug. I mean, everyone here is just like beaming light right now. But then when we go out in the world, what are we scared about? And I think it's that contrast. Because we are the ordinary pioneers. We are the ones that have been called to go out there and change the story. Change the story. Because not everybody can see what we can see and feel what we can feel. They may be caught in this old belief that they're not good enough or that they need to do certain things in order to survive. But there's no vibrance there. And so we can carry that vibrance out into the world and we get to spread it. It's energy work, right? We're all energy workers here. We get to spread that vibrance with others. And so not for us to be discouraged when we come up against that contrasting energy. Oh, this person, their energy is really heavy, you know, low vibes, you know. But what if we rose up to that with this light that we carry with us and said, hey, I see you, I love you, you're struggling right now. How can I support you? Would you like to talk about what you're feeling? And I'll be here and I'll hold space where you can say whatever you want because I love you and I'm here and I'm just going to listen to you. How many times do we actually take that opportunity to do it? And not to push guilt on us of like, oh, you should have done it, you all need to do better. No, let's start today looking for opportunities today to challenge ourselves to shift that energy within others' hearts. And all we have to do is love them. That's it. That's it. And I've been able to verify this in my own life, and I'm sure you have too, to disarm somebody who maybe they're coming at us with, aggression, or you did this, or, this is what's wrong in the world. And like, yeah, that hurts, doesn't it? I feel that pain that you feel. And I'm with you in that. I'm with you. The heart has no choice. They could run. They could be like, this is too much love for me. I'm out of here. That's their choice, right? We've been there. We've run from love. At least I have. I'll admit it. I got the mic, so I guess I'll talk about that. But we've run from love. Love's scary because it's the unknown. How much love exists in this world? We don't know. That's a part of the mystery, the wonder of it. But if we can capture these small moments with others, we get to experience just what's possible. And then keep doing it, right? It's not just, one moment, that was really great. All right, my work is done. I'm done, Lord. I can relax, sit here, eat my popcorn. It's all good. No, let's keep going. It's like this high that we could get. And my mom and I used to play this game. We worked at Kohl's. I was in high school. I was very depressed in high school, so anxious. I had a hard time being around a lot of people. But for some reason, when I was at Kohl's, I was like, this is my mission. This is it. And I'm going to see how many people I can make smile. Because everybody would come on TikTok. They're shopping and they're after work and all the things, right? And so I did this for I think I was there for maybe 2 years. And then years later, my mom and I were talking about this. And she's like, I used to do this thing at Kohl's when people come and they'd be on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to transform the day. I'm going to make them smile. I did that too. So it can become fun. It can become playful. But we have to know ourselves. We have to feel comfortable in ourselves in order to do it. So again, I'll ask, what's holding us back? Do we feel unworthy to serve God's purpose? And if so, let's explore that. Do we see others as unworthy? Maybe we should see ourselves as unworthy. We're angels of light. Just take that in. Just close your eyes and just say to yourself, I'm an angel of light. Whoa, can you feel that? Can you feel the presence of your soul right now? And then keep that feeling and take it with you. Because that warrior within you isn't afraid of anything. You don't get embarrassed. If they trip on the sidewalk, and they just kind of start dancing, They would never do that. I fall before I can dance, so I fall and then I get up and I say, oh well. Keep on going. Maybe you're more coordinated than me. Yeah, to know ourselves. And that's this, there's this idea that we have to know the source outside of ourselves, the God. We have to know God. But to know God, we need to know what's in here, right? Yeah. Because we're that droplet, just gifted to this earth. And I don't know about you, but I want to take advantage of that, of my time here. This could be my last day, who knows? Of course, I hope not, but if it is, then what am I going to do with my day? Right? Maybe a question to ask ourselves. If this is it, if this moment is it, am I going to regret not helping that person? Am I going to regret not calling the person who I've been upset with, forgiving them? Am I going to regret not spending that 10 minutes to help my child with his Legos? It happened the other day, and I was like, I'm too busy. And I'm like, wait, opportunity. Okay, here we go. Yes, son, I'll be there with you with your Legos. How can you say? It was great. My heart was happy. Work can wait. What is this work that we do? That's the work. Connection, community, loving one. That's all I have to say. Thank you all for sharing space with me this morning.